Hello, hi. I am Carlos Mauricio Diaz. I am a Spanish teacher and I am doing my master's in education with National University. I was born in Colombia and I work in Marin County near San Francisco. As you can see here, this is my first class, my 670, and you can see that all the classes that I planned at that time as a requirement to get my master's in education. For every single class, we can see the PLO 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sometimes one class can align to all, and I can assign an I for introductory, D for developing, or M for mastery. So here is my plan of study for the first class. This is an artifact. And then this class is aligned. Then this class is aligned with the PLO 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. For PLO 1, 2, and 4, I assign I for introductory. And then for number 3, I assign developing because in this class or in this course, I learned about the independent and dependent variables. I wrote my research question. So here you can see the, the screenshot of my proposal. So that one was my first class, my 610. Here you can have a better view with all the classes. I went to the library, I checked the catalog, and we have the description for each class, how this class is aligned according to the PLO 1, 2, 3, and 4. My next class is the EID 600, and this class is aligned with the PLOs 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And for the PLO 1 and 2, I assign an introductory. It was the first time I designed a website. So, but also, it was the first time I integrated advanced instructional approaches and learning using digital tools such as the website or the voice thread. It was a way to connect the community, the families, and the students into the classroom when they were going to interview the family members and the community members uh, to ask about the folk tales and the legends. So all of these tools can be beneficial in traditional and in digital learning, especially in my Spanish classroom. So I told you that I assigned this course with an M of mastery because the design of my website is grounded in learning science and research like the e-learning, constructivism, connectivism. What about the design, the colors, how to navigate easily in the website? Also, at the same time, it helped me become more confident in applying digital skills in my teaching practice. So this is the artifact and a screenshot of my website, but also we have the link too. So this is the EID 600. My following class is the 645 fluency in English. So here we can have the two artifacts, a screenshot of the lesson plan, as well as the link for my class. This class is aligned with the PLO 1 and 2 and 3. For PLO, I just assigned an I for introductory because it was the first time studying fluency in English. I researched different methods and approaches and strategies how to measure fluency. And I designed a lesson plan that includes the main elements to take into account when measuring the fluency. For this reason, I assigned a D, developing, for the PLO3. This course was very helpful because I used the knowledge and experience from what I learned to teach and measure fluency in English, and I transferred that experience to teach fluency in Spanish. So here are the two artifacts, the screenshot for the lesson plan and the link for my class. Next, we have the lesson plan design, and for my class, the 646 reading comprehension. The same, you can see the screenshot of my lesson plan and the link for my lesson. This class, the same, is aligned with the PLOs 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And for number 3, the PLO3, I assign a D for developing. The same, because in this reading comprehension, I research, and this research led me to various and different theories, methods, and approaches that I was able to apply to design a lesson plan, and then teach that lesson successfully. At the same time, I developed reflective practices. So here we had the PLO4. So when teaching reading comprehension, when I analyze and research about the different methods and strategies, so I transfer that knowledge, or I use it then for my reading comprehension in my Spanish class. Okay, so that's why I assign a D, developing, for PLO3 and 4. So this is my ARL 646. Now we have the My or EDA 645, the planning process. At the beginning, I was a little intimidated because all my colleagues, they were working at the university, and all the research and everything, it was just based at the university level, all the strategic plans. So, but then little by little, I said, oh, I had that experience. I took those classes when we were doing the strategic plan in the high school to create our new small learning community. So, for this reason, I assigned this course the or is aligned with the PLO1 and 2, and I assigned a D for development because I have had experience and training in designing and planning, as well as taking other courses at the university level in this area, but I need further develop to those abilities. So I choose this course because I have had some experience in planning and analyzing on a school-wide basis just in my small learning community, as a community leader, as a department chair, as a member of the school leadership council. But then I feel like taking this class will benefit me in my future plans. What about if I want to be an administrator or to get my credential? So really, this class was very helpful. And you can see here my artifact. This is a screenshot when we have to analyze the strategic plan or the mission and vision for the CSU Bakersfield, a university where I used to take some classes for my professional development. Next, we have the ITI 660 about identity, inclusion, and equity. This class is aligned with the PLO1 and just assigned introductory, because even though I have had previous training in the CREE, this course introduced advanced approaches that were new to me. It is possible. That is just for the reason I assign developing, D for developing, and it aligns with the PLO4. The same thing, I assign a D for developing. Why? Because I had the opportunity to integrate advanced approaches regarding identity, inclusion, and equity. I also develop reflective practices that are grounded in current learning science research about the importance, how it's very important to include these elements when you are planning, when you are for your distraction. So if the student feel value and welcome, even when you design the classroom, not just only boys one side or girls another side. So how these elements are key also for the emotional learning too. Here we have the My 670 Applied Practitioner Research Study. This class is aligns, or this course aligns with the PLOs 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. For PLO 1 and 2, I assign M for mastery, and for PLO 3 and 4, I assign a developing. So here is the one that in my first class, the 610, I wrote my first research question. And then in this class, with the feedback from the teacher and my classmates, and when I have to research for a different study that aligns to my research question, I found like too specific with the Spanish heritage students. So I had, well, they are English learners. So I analyzed those studies, and based on that one, here is my artifact intended timeline for my proposed study. So again, I had to practice dependent, independent, and taking into account, oh, I need a experimental groups. Or also, it's very important to have a control group. What about the measures? What about the pre-test? Oh, the TOEFL, the placement test. What about the post-test? So here is my artifact, the intended timeline for my proposed study. Next, we have here my, they are going to take into account my 2 years for BIXA. So here we have in year one BIXA. Oh, is the California Teaching Induction. Is the beginning teacher support and assessment. This BIXA year one aligns with the PLO number one, number two, number three, and number four. And I assign a D for developing, because taking this course for my LAUSD was my first job here in the US. So the professional development in this year one allowed me to align my prior knowledge and experience with the expectations and practices of the Los Angeles Unified School District. Thanks to this year one and all the classes and professional development, so I was able to integrate advanced approaches to my instruction, and I was able to design curriculum and learning experiences for my AP classes, the AP language and the AP lead. That one was the year one. And here we have the example of my artifact, the credentials. So the clear credentials. So at the end of year two, I obtained my clear credential in English K to 12 and Spanish K to 12. So BIXA year two, the same thing. It aligns with the PLOs 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I assign an M for mastery for all of them, all the PLOs. After finishing year two, I was able to apply all the knowledge acquired in these 2 years, and I was able to develop reflective practices for my language department. First as a co-chair, then as a department chair, and I was elected to be the lead teacher for our small learning community. At that time, my school, Fremont High School, was one of the largest in the US with around 5,000 students and 3 different tracks, A, B, and C. Then we have learning communities, and this is, oh, there are too many. you need to compete. Only we are going to have four, and in a traditional school year, we are going to start the school year again after the 4th of July. So with the help of the community and my colleagues, we designed. So that one is my experience in the strategic planning. So we designed this small learning community. We had the opportunity to be part of the hiring process, recruiting the teachers, and then the sponsors. So we have the sponsors to create our community garden and our clinic on campus. So that one was a very rewarding experience here in the US. Our school motto was find a path or make one, and we often make new path of as professionals in our learning community. That was my year two Bixa, and we have here the artifacts. So some examples of our projects at the school. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help and support to obtain my master's in education. Hello. I just want to make sure or to clarify that there is one class that they told me to wait, that I don't need to take it because maybe they are going to approve my 2 years of Bixa. That's the only one that I didn't show, or I don't have the artifact because I am waiting for approval. Maybe I don't need to take that class. Thank you so much. Carlos Mauricio Diaz.